start here. Right, wait, yeah, no music, no intro music anymore because OBS decided to screw things over with the scene changes because that's just things OBS does. But anyways, welcome back, guys, to the Innervated podcast. This is episode 52, recording live on the beautiful evening of July 26th. I'm your host, Nydra, and joining me are my two co-hosts, colleagues from GosuGamers.net, Sumadin and Matthieist. And as you will see, for the first time ever, we don't have the Chief with us for I don't know what reasons, really. He might be out hunting Pokemon because this is his life now. He might be not coming because he hates Tom, because that's a good reason too. Really not sure, but anyways, we'll have a nice show without him. Just like full European crowd. We can trash talk American Hearthstone and the players and all that without anybody objecting and stuff like this. It's going to be fun.
We were doing that anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, but there's nobody to talk back at us, right? It's now like full blown, you know, not giving a fuck, slandering of the American scene. No, we're not going to do it. Instead, we're going to start with saying how we've been this week, guys, because we skipped 1 week actually, so we congregate after a week of break. How are you doing this evening?
Stefan, go first, man.
Doing all right. Like, enjoying my semi-holidays, even though I still have to study for preparations. Yeah. Watched SeatStory. That was cool, and relentlessly long days. So
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I feel like
quite long. Yeah.
It was quite a bit of fun, but we're going to discuss it later in the show.
Yeah.
Tom,
Yeah.
I think it's been a long time since we've had you on the show, actually.
Yeah, man.
What
I think
like,
last time was reviewing Whisper's cards or something.
Really?
And talking about my trip to Los Angeles, I think.
Oh, but this was... Oh, yeah, okay. Well, but this was way before Whispers was announced, right? It was...
Yeah.
It was like the secret trip we Blizzard invited you to.
Yeah, and then we talked a bit about that, I guess. Yeah, so I'm fine, man. I'm actually tryharding this season, so...
Yeah, so you're like running train. You're constantly insulting me on Battle.net for me being a scrub, because I'm just like rank 11 or something still.
Oh, yeah, you are a scrub.
I am a scrub, yeah.
You are a scrub. Yeah, no, I actually felt, okay, holiday time, no excuse not to be legend this month, so...
I mean, except that you're bad.
Except for that reason, you know, so I only play no thinking decks, you know, trying to get in some face shaman, and that constantly.
You should try Cthulhu Druid because it's still good. Like I've been playing.
I actually rank up with Cthulhu Druid.
Yeah,
I switch between mid range hunter, Cthulhu Druid, and face shaman.
Yeah, go full no thinking mode, man. Like,
yep.
I was trying. I think we had a show and me and Raven discussed about like the tier 1 deck, and we mentioned Yogg Druid and Renalog. It's like, okay, time to bring those decks on ladder, and turns out you cannot play these decks if you actually multitask 7 other things, including watching 3 different shows at the same time. So you kind of have to plan a thing ahead, like spells and stuff like this. So it wasn't really my alley. You know, laddering diseases, or like back to the Octon Druid, man. Like I have 30 more wins to Golden Druid, so why the fuck not?
Exactly. No, it's been fun. It's been stressful sometimes, you know. I actually went on a huge win streak, I think, from rank 11 to rank 5 in 3 hours, and then I dropped the game and I was upset, so I quit. And then the next day, I climbed another rank, and then the day after another rank. So yeah. Now I've taken a break for a few days, recovering from staying up late watching SeatStory Cup. As Stefan mentioned earlier, it drags on quite long.
Speaking of Story Cup, this is actually our first topic of tonight.
How have you been, Rado?
How I've been? Well, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like I'm getting back in the old role-playing nerdism.
Back to the old RNG dice roll, right?
Yeah, praise the RNG Jesus. Yeah, Toast is saying that this show has gone downhill since you got rid of the grill. Yeah, I mean, she wasn't really working for us, Toast, so we decided to just get rid of her. I don't think she's ever coming back because we don't like her. and she doesn't
Same.
really like us. But I mean, it's just like
women don't belong in esports, right?
No, like this is an all men's area, right? If you're a girl in esports, you're probably bad.
All men and Rado. That's fine.
I mean, I'm just thinking like I should just grow my hair back. I mean,
you shouldn't. You know,
I'll like shave again, like long hair. I'll be like a pretend girl.
Yes. Okay. That would be Okay.
I mean, it will take us about 4 years to get there, like to the point, but it's on track. Like it's going to happen. All right. I mean, I'm not getting any more popular with the short hair and the beard, so like, going back to my seventh grade years, it's going to be awesome.
Actually, let's call it your mouth will has been backing off ever since you cut your hair, right?
Yeah.
Shame, man. Shame.
Man. Absolute shame. Anyways, let's get into discussing SeatStory Cup and not how sad and pathetic we are in real life, but how sad and pathetic we are staying at home and watching SeatStory, which was actually quite awesome. And I'm saying it as a guy who actually saw about half a day of the 4-day marathon because, again, I was doing other things. But TLDR life coach is back winning stuff. He took the finals 4-3 against Jackie Chan, the British wacky deck builder, quite known for this from this stream, basically playing shit that nobody else dares to even touch with a stick. And it was quite an awesome final. Stayed up, watch this. Definitely happy for life coach winning because I'm a G2 fanboy. And definitely happy for Jackie Chan actually for reaching so far, because we're going to discuss this later in the segment. He played the most unusual shit you can ever fucking imagine. And I'm not just saying about archetypes, I'm talking about tech choice like Frost Giants in fucking Crusher Shamans. Like what are you up to? Like, come on. But overall impressions, guys, because I know you saw a lot more from SeatStory Cup than I did. I
actually didn't see the Frost Giant Crusher deck, but Crusher Shaman is definitely a story of this tournament because holy shit, it was present and it was owning.
I like it.
It seems like the deck is pretty good at handling the other type of aggression, proving once again that the primary difference between medicine and poison is often just found in the doses.
Yeah.
Yep. And anyway, I really like that we just finished the DreamHack Valencia, where Nozov Paladin all of a sudden was big, and now there's another tournament, and Frodan and Jackie Chan are bringing this. Well, they call it Conceit Shaman. It's weird, man. But
Crusher Shaman.
Since day one.
It's the one and official name, and it's been since fucking Vanilla Hearthstone.
I think it's gonna be called Conceit Shaman for days to come.
There's not a single card in the deck that's not a vanilla card besides the 4-mana meme card. It's like we've had Earth Elemental for fucking millennia. We've had Spirit something.
Hey, there's Brock.
Spirit. Well, the new version now has Halazil and Elemental Destruction for just even more Cron control and
Bog Creeper.
No, Jackie wasn't playing Bog Creepers. He said he would.
No, I know, but he said. Yeah, he said he would include them instead of Frost Giant.
Yeah, which might be a better idea.
Yeah,
because I don't think the Frost Giants really work. In Conceit.
I think he didn't even play them once.
I didn't see them in play, so if he played them, it was in series. I didn't watch, like maybe on B stream or something. But
it's nice, man. I really like the deck. I ran into it lettering up. It's very frustrating, and it lives up to the newly given name of Conceit Shaman.
It's like I'm just seeing Stefan triggering internally. It's like, stop it.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm just calling it Conceit Shaman until Stefan concedes the cast, right? And then
gets an iteration and just runs into the wild.
Yeah, no, but I enjoyed the tournament, man. The finals between Jackie Chan and Life Coach were amazing. That's sixth game. If you haven't watched it yet, you should.
Yeah, you should also watch the Thais Life Coach semifinals, because this was, I mean,
best match of the year so far. Yeah,
it very well could be, because like TJ Sanders then went on Twitter, said it on the cast that it's one of the best games he's seen in a long while in Hearthstone. It was certainly to be expected because these are some of the best, most consistent players in Hearthstone, teammates on top of it, so they know what the others are bringing.
Like both players calculated everything so correctly. It was incredible. They made perfect reads on each other's hands. I think they didn't play it perfectly. I mean, in hindsight,
that's to be expected from teammates. You know, like they know each other's style.
Yeah,
probably.
But especially these two, right? I saw the Twitter discussion today on which 5 or 10 Hearthstone players would be the best of all time, and everybody was saying at least Thijs RDU life coach, I think, and they are all in the same team, you know. So
this is the thing with G2. Like, I don't know. I know that this is not applicable to every team, certainly. Like, I know that there are teams that like to practice with just random people. You know, the complexity guys, like JJ practices with Sivka, for example, and things like this. They often go outside for practice partners, right? Archon was kind of like G2 is in the moment, right? But G2, I think, is the team that best exemplifies the need for teams in Hearthstone, because they just play together, man. Like, life coach is like their father figure, like their deck building, guiding light. And if you remember, Tom, when we were in Prague, I think it was last year, right? Just before
on our honeymoon, or the other one?
The European finals, and we had. I think we talked to Tyson. He said that we just locked ourselves in a room with life coach for 2 fucking
3
weeks.
days.
And, no, it was for 2 weeks or something like this, just to prepare. It was like 2 weeks or 10 days. Or something. Yeah, it was a long period of time. So they just sat there and grinding games, right? And if you look at it, like, this is kind of the reason they also won ATLC, right? Because they analyzed who's good at what and who needed to make sacrifice, and unfortunately this had to be RTU. He was memeing about his win rates in ATLC, you know, having to play Shaman, having to play fucking Rogue, which wasn't really good at the times, but God. But yeah, Nyman is in chat and actually reminding us that he played fucking Natural Communion on turn 1
My
or
hero.
turn 2. And then, you know, it's like, I saw this, like, you know what, this is fucking done, and I was, you know, mining Twitter, and so was doing the same. It's like, you know what, this is a bad move. And then the next card, you know, he tops deck Nourish.
Yep.
He tops
twice.
Twice in a row. I was like, you know what, this is a mark of a good player. Now he knows he needed Nourish, so he fucking drew Nourish.
Yeah, he is an exceptionally good druid player.
Yeah. I mean, he got the ramp on turn 1. He got the card draw on turn 2. Card draw on turn 3. It's
yeah. That match was quite amazing as well.
It was hilarious, man. But yeah. What do you think about the level of competition outside these few matches that we just discussed? Like, any of the names that made you guys some, you know, impression, like beyond the usual suspects? I mean,
Froden was good.
Frank was good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think like he's not a bad player. It's kind of known. He just doesn't show it that much because he's usually on the other side of the show with casting. So
I have to say that I am impressed by Eloise just putting up results recently. I mean, she made top 8 here, right? And she will be at the True Silver Championship playoffs together with Kara. And why am I saying this? I'm writing a piece for PC Gamer about the teams in Hearthstone in their current state, and if I had begun writing the piece like a month earlier, I would just might not even include Temple Storm because they were just basically
they haven't really been doing much lately. Like
they are doing content, and their website is cool. And they have I mean, you know,
the content they used to do with various special tournaments is not seen anymore. We just have the meta report. And
I mean, they're doing far less content even, but they were still putting up content. But as a competitive team, they were nowhere to be seen. And certainly, Eloise makes 2 playoffs in a row. Garo makes another playoff. Frolan puts up good results. Like, is this?
How many more matches does Frolan have to play to be in our ranking?
Yeah,
a lot.
No, you don't have. You don't have
because he was top 8 in SeatStory Cup, right?
Yeah.
And Yeah, probably. I don't know, man. Like 5 or 6
Because he's
more.
played like in SeatStory before, and then people already started asking, "Hey, how many matches does he have
Yeah.
to play?
Yeah.
Where's his
I
ranking?"
mean,
and everything?
we can easily check, man. Let's see. Let's throw it in the rankings.
He is in the thousands, but
Yeah, he is in the thousands, obviously.
1,025.
1,025 points, yeah. And he needs 3 more matches actually, and he will be ranked.
Nice. Well, if he ever listens to this,
yeah, throw it on, man. Get on competing. We want you ranked.
yeah, you're actually Temperstorm's best player at the moment.
that might actually be true. Is it? It could very
I don't
well
know.
be.
Eloise is quite good, you know, and then China is a difficult region. Judging.
Very true, very true. But the metagame scope, I want to talk about how things are changing. It seems to be like over 2 weeks we're seeing, well, quite a bit of a different metagame, because at DreamHack Summer and before that we saw Zoo, Temp Warrior, Aggro Shaman. Things have shifted now, and it started with DreamHack Valencia. We saw Nizar Paladin coming into the limelight because, well, Miracle Rogue is now a thing. Is no more a thing, right? Or at least its popularity is reduced, and Evangelion used it to win DreamHack Valencia. But Aggro Shaman has been switching more and more to slower shamans, like not just
that's like a mid-range shaman or shaman running.
Shaman.
Yeah.
Dragon has almost
Dragon Warrior.
Yeah,
And-
Dragon Warrior stepped.
And the thing is that, like, as soon as you take the aggression out of these decks, Paladin eat them raw. Like, Conceit Shaman, like, you know, Conceit Shaman lives off the whole threat of having to kill the Earth Elemental 4
There
times,
you go,
but
Conceit Shaman. Well done.
but yeah, basically it lives off the idea of you having to kill the Earth Elemental 4 times, and they're like, well, here's the rules, listen to them.
I don't care
All
about
of the
1/8
rules.
elementals, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even the 4 elementals can easily be killed off of a pyro, right? Like a pyro equality, and don't really care.
Yeah, this is the, like,
we saw,
once you give Paladin time, they will beat you. It's
Play
they
solid
will
vigil
beat
for
you
1 or 0
eventually.
mana,
It's
you know.
just
I mean,
matter of-
the deck was in Jackie's victorious lineup. On top of other things, which, oh man, like I really want to know what kind of deck building drugs he's taking, because let's look at his fucking lists, right? Because I have
I got it.
I
I got them
prepared
here.
here. Like the most normal thing was an unusual N'Zoth Paladin, right, with corrupted heal bots, like no infested Tauren and stuff like this. All both Life Coach and Jackie Chan's decks are on GosuGamers, so you can go check it out. So the most normal deck is an N'Zoth Paladin.
The most no, the mage.
Okay, yeah, the Temple Mage is the most normal deck, right? That's the normal type of Jackie, which doesn't have Blood Mage Stalno, so that there's a something there.
You know.
Then it goes weirder with the N'Zoth Paladin that doesn't have infested Tauren, doesn't have Kodos, it doesn't have humilities, anything like this. It runs Elise, it runs corrupted heal bot, it runs lay on hands on top of the Ragnar's the Life Lord, so every single healing that you can possibly fathom. Then you go into Yogg tokens, which is kind of his signature deck.
The Druid, yeah.
Yeah, so not really unusual, but kind of unusual for the meta, but not unusual for Jackie, if you know what I mean.
He plays double wisps, you know.
Yeah, but he's always had this in his signature deck, right? So it's an unusual deck, but I don't think he runs Yogg. No, he runs Yogg's, right? Yeah, he runs Yogg. Runs
Speaking
Elixir.
of Mal,
I think it was Thais who didn't run Yogg in Yogg.
Thais and Life Coaches did not run Yogg. Yeah.
speaking of deck names, from watching this tournament, it really seems weird to me to name that deck Yogg token or anything like that, because the true hero and master of that deck is Fandral.
Of course it's Fandral, but
yeah, but
I think
Fandral is no fun, right? It doesn't go.
No, he's just the true ruler of that
so
deck.
strong, man. I'm
everything, and Yogg is like, well, plan H if we haven't
if
won by
everything
then.
fails, just Yogg for the win, man.
I mean, every future card until, of course, Fendrel gets rotated out has for Druid that has a choose one mechanic has to be feared from now on.
Absolutely.
I mean, with Fendrel in game, you can't do stupid things anymore.
Absolutely. So, what else is Jackie bringing? He's bringing a Dragon Lock, and I know it's a deck designed by Xeris, and just a bit modified for by Jackie for the purpose of this tournament, but it's kind of a defensive mid-range, if I want to put it like this. Dragon Lock.
Really?
Control, right?
Well, it's...
Or that's yeah.
And it's not Malygos? That's interesting.
There's no Malygos. It just runs a shitload of tones and crowd control. So you can kind of say it's a control, but with, you know, as much as
with Dark Peddler.
Yeah, I mean, it has double Doomsayer, it has a double Hellfire, double Shadow Bolt, and everything else is dragons. We have Twilight Guardians for tones, we have Blackwing Corridor for removal, we have double Siphon Soul, double Sunwalker for tone, Chill Maul for tone and removal, Alex Straza for life control. It's amazing. Like, it's so easy to play. Like, if you're if you want to play Warlock but are really bad at it, and you cannot play Zoo because Zoo is difficult to play, and can't play Reno because Reno is even more difficult, play the fucking Dragon Lock that Jackie brought. It really plays like a, you know, like the old Secrets Party. You just, you know, remove stuff on curve and then start dropping big minions one by one, and then people just, you know, clashing them and die. You would be surprised how often this wins against Aggro Shaman, right? It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah, but it makes sense because Hellfire just wrecks everything that Aggro Shaman believes in. Like, your truck with 2 Spirit Wolves, gone. And that's all you're still overloaded. So, have fun.
The only problem is Flame Rated, but that's a problem for every deck, so that's not really...
Yeah,
But, like, if you time a Doomsayer, probably, that's not a threat either, and then you just drop some Walkers and he can go through it. And then Chillmo is just like a third Hellfire. Oh my god. I love Chill. I crafted Chillmo specifically for this deck. I love it. It's my favorite new card now. Especially in the aggro meta.
It's not new every single in soft deck, even those without dragons run Chillmo because it's a taunt death rattle.
It's a Tom Death Fire, man. Yeah. And finally we have the
Shaman.
Yeah, the Crusher Shaman, the Concede Shaman that we first saw it from Tars, DreamHack Valencia. It's obviously not the same list because this Jackie's run double Frost Giant, which again, like, it wasn't one of those challenge stone punishments that if you forgot a card, then you have to put some 2 shitty cards in it, right? This is an actual tech choice he made. Somebody in Twitch chat says that, I mean, they played it, like it was played in a game. I want to find the game, so I can watch the other guy's expression, like what the fuck is this? So 92 Tommy who tipped us off. If you remember the game, tell me. And so we can tell our viewers as well, so they can just go and check it out. But yeah, Frost Giant, Concede Shaman. Yeah, that's I don't know. Half of the cards for this I'm missing because I never thought I would need them in my life, and this is the only reason I'm not lathering with this at the moment.
I really like the Faceless Shambler in there as well. It's a thing you don't think of immediately, right?
Wasn't that in Tarsus' list too, or?
But the thing is, you don't think of it immediately, is because it overlaps with your ordinary 4-mana 7/7.
Yeah, yeah. This is just a potential 4-mana 7/8 even with no overload.
Yeah, yeah.
And taunt.
What about? Maybe that's the synergy with the Frost Giants, guys. Like you drop.
Yeah, after you have hero power 10 times,
after
at which
point 73.
At which point you're either dying because this is in soft Paladin, and the answer to that is just to play in soft and like 7 legendaries, or you're winning because they're at 3 health and they're relentlessly out of juice because it's a warlock and they don't, and their cards do nothing.
I mean, you can always play Hellazeel in Elemental Destruction, right? I mean, that's the ultimate control and comeback mechanic.
That's
here.
Yeah, but it doesn't do like the thing is it's not hard removal. Like it's not brawl. It's not equality concentrate. It's
No, but it's
a
quite
flame
often it does the job very well.
Yeah, it's
until it doesn't, right?
until it doesn't. Yeah, like
Until it
it's and once again you still have to remember that thing does 5 points of overload. It's like you usually want to evade that, but when you can't, holy shit, you're gonna fall behind real quick again if you don't do something.
Yeah.
So I know that a lot of people were so psyched about SeatStory Cup in general, like this edition particularly.
Yeah, it was like
I saw on
6
Reddit,
or
like
7.
the best tournament
Yeah.
this year and stuff like this. Do you see this as a strong contender for the best tourney in the Ghost Awards later in the year?
Yes.
Way too early.
Well,
to
it's
say.
no way to. I mean, we have like 5 months, right, of tournament, so that's fine. But you know, just by the sheer amount of hype, again,
It's certainly a contender. Like it's something I see on the list, but
yeah, I'm not saying if it's going to win the Ghost Award. Obviously, this is too early, but
It's just, do you see it being a nominee?
oh,
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
yes,
like a nominee.
absolutely. But,
I mean, everybody was very excited about it, and
but its
I think
competition
it got
gonna
like
be like
60k viewers.
YCA. So
It got 60k viewers. That's
Oh,
insane.
even more. I think it capped at about 70k. It might have been more, but at one point it was 70k. This is already twice as much as the NA Championship, like the last one. It's ridiculous, but you know, it's the magic of Take TV, man. Like, put people in one house, give them alcohol, give them poker and Hearthstone, and they'll do the show.
and invite a surprising number of girls, by the way. Like,
Yes.
I don't know where they find all these esports girls because
Yeah,
Because they don't belong there.
Yeah, why can't we get any, right? It's...
I'm surprised they even exist that many. Like, they had some good cast. Okay,
Yeah.
joke, but
I'm-
they even had some of those casting, and they were better than some of the male cast.
Yeah,
like
definitely. On the B stream,
on the
right?
B stream, they
Yeah.
had some really good female casters, and then they followed up with the worst male casters I have ever had the displeasure of listening to. I can't remember who it was,
The Badger reminds us how we said not 20 minutes ago that women do not belong in esports, which is again a joke. Before
Please
we
take it with
get
a pinch of
fired
salt,
all for
okay?
misogyny,
No,
we're kidding.
I
We'll
actually have
women.
to. I have to agree with Stefan. On the B stream, there were at some point, I think it was match from Osaka or something. They were casting. No, it was Thijs versus Hoy. Where
probably,
Thijs
because I
rolled
watch every Howie match.
where Thijs rolled 5 totem golems out of his Tuskar Totemic. Yeah, consecutively. So that was insane. But they were casting it, and they were doing quite a good job actually. Good game knowledge and everything. Obviously, the whole being talkative thing is not there yet as much as a procaster, but for this event and especially for
And
the
on the
B-stream,
B
it was
stream,
it was fine. Yeah, I wouldn't mind them
I think
actually-
SeatStory Cup is one place that you don't give a shit about what the casting is, right? I mean, no, I'm serious, because like
with Drunkos Kaka.
yeah,
But-
like Drunkos Kaka kissing Reddit on the floor. Like, you have this after a game. You have, you know, Zizo handing life coach his kid.
Yeah.
You know, somebody commented like, oh, you know, life coach had to play a game, had to find a babysitter, and the best person he found around was Zizo. You know, how ironic.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, like, let's give it to Zizo. Like, suddenly some good parenting there. But yeah, it's certainly a family tournament, obviously, because life coach's wife and kids were there. So
Yeah.
And again, like, you don't
Such a
give a
family
shit
man.
what the casting is, right? It's because this is the one tournament where you can meme your life out. Like, nobody will care if it's accurate memeing, if it's bad memeing. It's just there, and it only makes the tournament better.
Yeah,
You
again,
can
it's an
actually get away with
invitational,
this.
so
Yeah. No,
You know,
it's not going to have. There's nothing on the line as far as professionalism goes. This does not give any points. So
yeah, but I mean, it's not just being an invitational, right? Because Star Ladder is also an invitational, but you cannot get away with this shit there, right?
No.
Star Ladder is way more professional, way
because
more,
it's too big.
yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, it's
This has more that House Cup feeling,
Yeah.
you know. Everybody's just, yeah, like really that Hearthstone feeling. Everybody's just playing together, having fun, drinking, everything. Yeah.
okay. This is the one tournament that like M House Cups that are now discontinued that embodies the spirit of Hearthstone basically as a sport, as a competition, right? Like not
Yeah.
all these, you know, fake taverns, you know, set designs that we see all the time. Like they don't convince me that this is the Hearthstone spirit, but SeatStory convinced me that this is the Hearthstone spirit, right?
Yeah.
Because
I
everybody's
actually-
goofy and stupid and drinking beer and alcohol and playing
Yeah.
card games, man. Nobody gives a shit.
I actually was very disappointed that Nims and TJ didn't get to play in the tournament because they are actually very good Hearthstone
Oh
players.
yeah, TJ,
And-
TJ is
and
amazing.
TJ's insane, and Nims ranks high as well. You know, I think he's been top legend, at least top 10 legend from what I've known, and from what I've seen in when I see him on that online. But yeah, he's doing well in casting. He always tries to open up the things, right? You know, he likes to discuss every possibility the player has, even though it sometimes sounds kind of stupid to Twitch chat and to professional players. But he is a very good player, and so is TJ. So I would have liked seeing them compete as well. So actually, the community can gain some respect for, especially Nimsh.
Yeah, I mean, Nimsh was competing quite heavily back in his early days. I mean,
Yeah.
actually taking tournaments, winning tournaments too.
Yeah, ESL, right? Didn't he?
The first IM he won, but this doesn't really
Yeah.
count because it was small. But he won Millennium's House Cup, I think the first one for Hearthstone or second one for Hearthstone. One of those, I think he actually won it, or it was in the grand finals at least. But yeah, speaking of Twitch chat, I mean Terrence was there, so you kind of know what happens, or you can guess if you didn't watch. Once again, you know,
Yeah.
people being dicks. Once again, mods not being adequate. We're back at this, like, you know, banning the tryhard emote, not banning the limbing emote, like all this stupid childish shit that I'm just actually getting tired of.
It's like,
War never changes, man, as they say.
and censorship never learns. Like,
No.
like, how many
mean-
of these instances do we need before some proper guidelines for internet adjustment is made? Like, individual banning doesn't work, and you know, half the shitstorms that originated from Reddit is because of imbalanced censorship with regards to
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah,
Like, to what actually banning. This is a very interesting conversation I had with Chief, and because we conversed on one of the mornings of SeatStory Cup. I hadn't watched anything. It was just apparently after the first day when Terrence played. I was out. I didn't know what was happening. I found out that, you know, Twitch was going ham, and Chief was actually complaining about how mods dealt with it, and not about how Twitch chat behaved, because how Twitch chat behaved is kind of expected. But
Yeah.
it was all with, you know, the banning of an emote, and we once again we were on the same opinion that this was just, you know, what we call the racism fallacy, right? When you protect a race more than you protect other races by censoring, you know, arguably offensive shit against it. You're
Or, you know,
not,
just
you're
you know,
not eliminating racism. You're just feeding the racism, right? Because if you're only protecting the black person in the tournament from being offended, but not doing the same for Asian players or for, you know, gay-looking players or for
Women, like,
or
seriously,
women.
Elolise was playing, and holy shit, it was
Yeah,
as you
it's-
could expect. Sadly.
Like,
Well,
don't, like, if you want to go with censorship, do it across
Be
the table,
consistent
right? Be
about it.
consistent,
Like,
right? You know,
don't.
if you want to ban one emote, ban all the emotes that you can be that can be considered offensive. Now, for the record, am against it.
Which means basically all of them.
Same.
Yeah, because
Shut down Twitch chat, you know.
but
That
again, it's
would
not.
probably be an improvement in which to some regard.
This is
No.
like arguments I've had. Like, if you've hired a woman to do a job, just because she's a woman, this is not acting in feminist interests, right? It's not gender equality. It's the opposite. It's gender inequality,
Yeah, because
right?
you're protecting
It's not how equality works, guys. So yeah, again, you know,
like I think in the case like especially with Terrence, but in general, just the try hard emote, like what gives, you know? I mean, obviously it's not nice, but banning an emote, yeah. I mean, if there's a chubby person on stream, everybody's spamming Ming Lee, you know, or whatever, and I think there's a difference between just like that emoting and serious bullying.
Yeah.
Although it's not nice, of course it's not nice, but that's the area you're competing in.
Of course, like you live in internet, you have to know that like some shit will go down.
Yeah.
Like you cannot stop it. And this is not just the internet, by the way. It's fucking real life. If you go out on the streets,
definitely,
you will see the same behavior. And you cannot just force 7 billion people to be nice to you, right? You have to toughen up. I'm saying that, you know, if we start banning emotes, and I think this is a discussion the last time we had it at DreamHack Austin, like if you start banning emotes, this is a slippery slope and it destroys the Twitch culture. Now Twitch culture is not
trash,
pretty.
But
yeah, it's not pretty, it's not mature, but it's Twitch culture, right? This is what created fucking esports, like modern day esports. I mean, it's this is what we have. This is where our games reside, for better or worse.
And you're also not, you know, stopping the options for racism. Like like a ban is almost useless when a immediately available secondary option is available, and that is just normal chat, or, you know, some kind of even something like try hard without with some emote disruption, so it's just printed in text works like this. If people want to be racist in chat, they have the options to do so, and that's why this whole emote thing is just
I think there's a difference, you know, between
it's an easy shortcut that's not going to accomplish anything.
No, absolutely not. And it's
and
wrong,
if we want to, like, the eternal problem is that the amount of thought and intrigue that can be present in any given chat room is constant compared to the view count. Meaning, basically, in a chat room with 1,000 people, there will still be the same amount of thought as when there is 25,000 people. That's like I like to view it's the problem. And the only way you're really ever going to solve that relation is by forcing the chat room to be limited to a certain amount of people, instead of trying to fit 70,000 people this time into a fucking single chat room and expect that to be respect and well thought out comments. No, nobody prints like thought out comments in when there's
gonna be a nice dialogue.
Right? That's not even an internet phenomenon, right? If you put 70,000 people in real life in a stadium, a lot of them will be assholes.
But in a stadium, I don't have to hear the other guys from the other fucking... Like, a stadium is limited to the physics of the real world, where you can't actually place that many people and have everyone hear each other. Like, so we kind of have to move... I talked about this another time, but I think Twitch really need to try and implement the multi-chat rooms, where it's basically, instead of having one chat room for 70,000 people, it's 70 chat rooms of 1,000 peoples, because that's about the amount you can manage and still have the chat be somewhat...
Twitch chat is not where people have conversations, right? Actually.
But...
And even if it was, you cannot really have an actual conversation with 70,000 people. This is just places where people just like to spam memes, and that's fine. But you can, as you said, Stefan, you can spam memes and chat with 1,000 people unobstructed, right? And it will actually be better. I don't even take part in Twitch chat unless it's my show, or even watch Twitch chat when I'm watching tournaments, because I don't care about it. Like, even if it's the most behaved crowd, I just don't care. Like, I don't. So yeah, I mean, it's a complicated topic. I don't want to get too much into it, but for the record, no to banning emotes that you consider racist. Ban the actual control the actual racism. Like when somebody says all niggers should hang, which is actually something that was said during DreamHack, and I'm not censoring it because this happened on Twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
It's now this is bad, right? This is not something I condone, but an emote, yeah, you can consider it racist, but it's not in its actual origin, right? Anyways, don't really want to get into this debate because I think we can do like several shows just for this. So we're not going to do it. The second part of the show, we're just going to take a quick look at the Ghost Awards. How are they progressing? Because we are a couple of days away from closing the polls. I think they're set to close Thursday midnight time or something like this. Just a quick FYI, if you haven't been watching, the Ghost Awards Summer are kind of a awards ceremony that celebrates the best teams, players, casters, and tournaments in the first half of 2016. So we have 6 categories with 6 nominees in each category, and there are a couple of voting rounds between the panelists, which all 3 of us are on it, plus about 10 or 11 other people from GGNet and outside GGNet, and we also have a community voting. And we just give 2 different awards. The main one, which comes from the crew, and a community choice, which comes from, well, the community. So we're just going to see what the results are, what can we expect to see at the end of the month when we'll just give away the awards. The best player, and we're just revealing the community results here because the crew voting isn't even in yet. But we have best player for the first half. We had Chucky, Naiman, RDU, Super JJ, Thais, and Zizu nominated, and it's not even close, guys. Like Thais is at like 63%. Yeah. I don't think anyone is beating him. Like no fucking chance unless everybody in general.
It is as it should be.
Coming,
I mean, I would argue as it should because I wrote a feature recently about analyzing the the nominees for best player.
They're right.
But I
He's
think
a champion that championed.
Sure, but I think like it should have been closer between him and Super JJ at least. I don't think there should have been a 55% difference between him and anybody else.
Yeah, but that's just too few people actually seeing themselves vote for Super JJ over Thais because at the end of the day, that requires people to actually, it's not a pointed election. Like, it requires people to actually see the results of Super JJ being higher than Thais. And I honestly understand why people just see Thais' performance better because it is.
Objectively, Super JJ's win rates and performance have been better than Theis's.
Yeah, but
the
Super
last 6
JJ
months,
was a smaller name to begin with, and Thais went and won the arguably biggest title he could have had so far.
Sure. I mean, he broke records. He became the only, 2 times regional champion in Hearthstone, right? Like, winning Europe twice. So yeah, I'm not disputing that Thais shouldn't get a shitload of votes. I'm just saying there should be people closer to his vote percentage that they're actually. I mean, you can make an argument for Naiman, you can make an argument for Zizo. All of them should have like at least 10%. Like nobody's breaking 10%. Zizo is the closest, which surprised me the most because I really didn't think.
It's recent results. It's not our way of measuring, but I can understand the community doing it.
Yeah. So yeah, Thais is winning this. In case you wonder, I don't think you should be surprised at the final outcome. But this is going to happen. I'm not certain. Like I hope that the crew voting doesn't turn this way. I'm sure it won't, because we, as you said, Stefan, we measure, who deserves it the most by looking at.
And we also have more
stats, and we spend way more.
We also have a more pointed. We give points rather than simply pointing to the winners. So
breakout player category is way more closer. We have AK, Amnesia, Crane, Frozen, Naiman, Super JJ, all nominated. Currently in the lead is Amnesiac with 30%.
Americans.
I mean, well, it was a great breakout story. You know, a young kid becoming a champion, going to BlizzCon. You know, finally finding his big moment. Absolutely deserving a nomination.
Nomination for sure, but I'm not too sure about this because I'll bring out an old saying I like it to use in this case, and that is, one result is not a performance. Like, and this is his only result. Okay, like literally, we have not seen him do anything other than get.
I think it's mainly that here actually Archon PR has done a good job for one of the very few times. I mean, they hyped up Amnesiac. He lived up to the dream. He won the tournament, and after that, dream became popular. He put himself out there as well. Fellow players embraced him as one of the great minds, you know. And
so he's a fantastic player, but
but I think that's what works in his favor for the community. You know, if you think about, well, for example, AK Wonder, Crane, Frozen, Nyman, they all put themselves less out there, or at least have less good of PR. You know, they don't appear that much.
I don't know. I think. Yeah, I think at least for Nyman, I think people hyping it up quite a lot just because with all the
with the redemption story,
like all these stories are fantastic. By the way, I love every single breakout performance here because it carries an actual story behind it. Now we've discussed in the past that how I don't think like Super JJ should not be here because he technically broke out with SeatStory last year. But then again, he broke out so late we couldn't give him a breakout nomination then, so we kind of giving him now. I'm not sure if he'll come around and win it. Probably not, because there's just very, very little time left. But myself, I would like to see Nyman have more because he really broke out hard, man. Like not just he won.
He did.
Did he win? Europe Winter. He continued performing. Like he went there.
SeatStory.
Yeah. Top 8. Well, we don't count SeatStory because this happened in the second half of the year.
Yeah, true.
Top 8 at Star Ladder. He's top 16 at True Silver now, guaranteed. Quite a lot of good performances overall from Nyman on top of the European Championship. Frozen got 2 DreamHack playoffs in a row, including a silver medal from Summer. AK Wonder finally won a major after making every single DreamHack playoffs last year. Like all of these are great stories. Like Crane, just like if he had the Valencia thing just a month earlier, he would have, I would guarantee you, more votes than he has now. Yeah, it's a tighter race compared to best player for certain.
But what I'm saying is that there's a big influence of PR as well, and Amnesiac is well, not recently, not anymore too much, I think, but especially for a few months before and a few months after he had won the tournament, the America's Championship, he was out there. There were videos of him everywhere, and everybody was hyping him up. So that's really working in his favor. That he's stuck in people's mind. Whereas I think this is a bit less for the other players.
All right. Back to another one. Like undisputed category, complexity, G2 esports, not Navi, SK, Team Liquid, and Dirtstorm nominated for best team, and it's once again like with the Thais case, G2 is unreachable, 61% of the votes.
And Life Coach just won another thing, which we're not supposed to count that, but the community most certainly will. So it's to be expected.
Thais won a major, RD won a major, Life Coach won a major. That again, people are not supposed to cut it, but they will. Like this is, I'm fine with this, right? I'm okay with this. I honestly think.
And the thing is, the presence of teams in the last 6 months have been really weak. Like the usual suspects have been underperforming almost across the board. Like
like Navi is the only real contender to G2 in my eyes, just because they have a sick individual talent pool, right? Complexity is a strong contender as well, but they're just building their legacy now with Super JJ and Crane on the forefront. Like these are relatively new talents that are yet to start winning a lot of shit. So complexity is certainly on the rise, but not strong enough to contest what G2 has accomplished in fucking Hearthstone.
I will still bitch about Team Liquid getting on that nomination.
Oh yeah, I will bitch too, but I don't think deserve it. I would put Anox in place of Liquid or Cloud9 in place of Liquid.
Celestial.
And Virtus Pro. I mean, Virtus Pro is actually not to be underestimated as well.
Oh no,
in terms of lineup.
Yeah, but we always knew it was never going to be a close for them. Like.
Oh no, definitely no.
Because I mean, people don't look at results or talent pool or anything like this. Yep. Best caster. This is a close category, so we're kind of going.
Yay.
We have Kibler, Firebat, Froden, Raven, Saddle, and TJ as the 6 nominees. And Kibler, Firebat, Froden are all in the top 3. Froden is actually leading. Wow! Raise your hand if you're shocked. What's good though is it's not like 78% or something like this.
No.
It's actually rather close. Froden is at 35%. Firebat is at 29%. He was actually leading for the first 3 days of the polls. It was a close race between him and Froden, like a 1-2% difference. Kibler, who actually won the community choice last year, is third with 22%. Yeah, you know, Froden, man, it's
I actually voted for Kibler.
I voted for Firebat because I think
Firebat, he is like really strong.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Froden, he's still an amazing caster, but he's shifting more into a different role.
Yeah,
he's more like guiding the whole conversation rather than actually giving
like he's the day 9 of Hearthstone, basically. Like,
yeah,
you know,
he's like
at the end, like day 9 just transitioned into hosting before he kind of retired from StarCraft.
The Brits are not getting any love, man. Raven, and although on he's on the panel, but he's not getting any love. Sol is just 5%, DJ 5%. So I'm.
Although I actually have to say, I think Solo has improved so much as well.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. At first, when he started, he was, I don't know, too analytical and way too busy calculating math and stuff. And now he's actually opened up a bit more and being more talkative, even some memeing here and there.
So rubbing off the Nimsh and Robert A. Wing.
Yeah. Which I personally love. I like that banter. But I have to say Soto is stepping up his game. Has stepped up his game incredibly. And I would have expected him higher in percentages as well.
Okay. Best tournament of the first half: DreamHack Austin, DreamHack Summer, HCT Europe Spring, HCT Europe Winter, Red Bull Team Brawl, and True Silver Championship 2. So far, EU Spring is in the lead with 34%, followed by DreamHack Summer 24%, and then DreamHack Austin third at 18%. Sorry. Yeah.
I think Spring HCTU is just the Thais story, you know, people voting because it was such a good tournament, had Thais winning. I actually liked it less than the HCT EU Winter Championship, but that's just a personal thing. It was more in terms of production. The HCT EU Spring Championship felt incredibly rushed. They were pushing games after another, no moment of breathing time in between.
I think we discussed it, previous episodes as well. It was like, just give me a time to go to the toilet at least.
Yeah, exactly. My vote went to DreamHack Summer. Incredible production, good players. I like the format.
This category kind of lost all its appeal to me once China versus Europe didn't make it in. Like this was my tournament. Like I've been, the journalist that hypes up China versus the West. For as long as China versus the West exists, I think it's the best storyline in Hearthstone, the best rivalry certainly. And not seeing it in it, and then China breaking the curse, taking the fucking Ferrari, Klenta almost doubling on the championships. There was so far back casting. Oh my god!
Yeah.
The tournament had everything. She should have been on the list of nominees, but Vox Populi, Vox Dame.
But out of these 6, these are the 6 contenders now. So yeah.
Yeah.
Out of these 6, my vote went to DreamHack Summer.
I voted for EU Spring because, Thais. So.
There you go. Told you. Nice. Yeah.
I'm just like the Reddit sheep. I just vote
Yeah.
for Dice. Right?
But I have to say, if SeatStory was in between like a 7th to this one, I would have voted for SeatStory.
Yeah, but we can't have it here.
Yeah, no, but I mean, if it was like a 7th
Yeah.
choice here, you know, out of these, we obviously don't know the tournaments
straight
before.
away. Like
Yeah.
if you put SeatStory 5 among these 6,
Yeah.
it was going to win. Like,
Yeah, 70% or something, definitely. But yeah.
Finally, we have player to watch category. We have broken player to watch in the second half. Obviously not. The half that we already had. We have Board Control, Crane, Dr. Hippie, Frozen, Maverick, Nyman as the nominees. Maverick in the lead with 44%. Followed quite closely by Crane. Well,
Quite
you know
closely.
what? He shortly after we nominated him, he finished second in DreamHack. So we
like where's this Maverick fan coming from? Is it just a Hearthstone festival? Like
I think
Maybe-
it's just
maybe
the
the
French
French
community.
community.
It's
Yeah.
the French community.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
it's if we had a Russian anywhere on the nominees, you
Hey.
would have seen those percentages spike.
yeah.
Like I
Didn't
remember.
we have like in earlier voting rounds we had Pavel and Anox, right? Something.
Yeah, we had. I mean, VP is technically a Russian, but with no Russians on it. I don't think that the Russians cared that much about this particular team. But I remember, man, it's the first time we did Gods of Wars for League of Legends. I think it was maybe 2012 or something. And we had, and this is, by the way, the actual reason why we have Gosu Crew nominations, which is and the actual award and community choice nominations.
Yeah.
We did our regular agenda, which before that was just people vote, and whoever people chose was the winner. We did it for StarCraft 2 and Dota successfully for many years. It worked. Then we do it for League of Legends, and we nominate Moscow 5, which is a Russian team. What follows is Moscow 5 share the nomination on VK, which is the Russian Facebook, basically. And in one day, every single, Moscow 5 nomination, because they were nominated in multiple categories, had about, 100 times more votes than all the other nominees combined. And we had big teams, big fan base like CLG and TSM nominated back then. And then we said, you know what? This shit won't fly, man. We need to say no to the community, because the community is a fickle beast, right? It will vote with its heart rather than its careful analysis, and then also fan bases can be swayed. Now, I'm not saying Maverick doesn't deserve to be in the lead, but he doesn't really deserve to be in the 44% lead. Definitely people with Frozen who've put up better results. Definitely people with Crane who've put great results. Fucking Nyman, man, who's guaranteed to be at 2 of the biggest tournaments of the second half, should have more votes than this. But that's the power of the French community, man. It moves people.
Yeah.
Moves people.
I think it's not he is a player to watch, but not too
more
sure.
than Crane, really?
No, probably. But the thing is, the French community is so close. The Hearthstone Festival is the first real engagement between, the real engagement between the two, between the West and the rest of.
I mean,
and France and the
rest
and
of
the
Europe.
rest of
It's
Europe
still
and the West.
got fuck no exposure, sadly.
Yeah, which was horrible because the casting was nice, with Dice
RTU.
casting, RDU, Rap God. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I actually wanted to be there so much, but unfortunately,
Lol, what can you do?
yeah.
But anyways, this was the short Gosu Awards review. There's still time to cast your vote, so if you haven't, go to GosuGamers.net/Hearthstone. Look on the top left of the side, there will be a banner with the Gosu Awards. Click on it, you'll be taken to the nominations in the polls. You'll be able to vote in it. We are closing on the 28th, like 00 CET or something like this. But finally, we're here to talk about the kind of a main topic. Man, I thought this was going to be a short show, because we have like half a page of notes and we're in our first 1 hour of podcasting, which is ridiculous. So we're just going to try to cut it shorter than I anticipated. But we know that announcement of an expansion.
Announcement of announcements.
Well, it's pretty certain now that we're getting a new adventure announced on July 28th, because we know it's going to be big. It's going to be an expansion, and it's not going to be another pack expansion because of how they want to release. So it's going to be released on the July 28th PDT time, but that's kind of the only July 28th. Sorry, what I mean is like it's July 29th for every other time zone in existence.
Yeah.
It's 8 a.m. for Europe, which is a bit early, but not terribly early. And the reason is because they're announcing it at Changzhou, which is a Chinese digital expo. They're announcing it there live. So
Road will be there.
Yeah, of course, Brock will be there.
Forehead.
Hints have been dropped a lot. Keywords with magic and shit like this. We had a party. Is the most recent one.
Like the theme of a party is definitely present everywhere. So
it will be something party related.
Sure.
What the main theme is, if it's just going to be a random party, a lot of people think it's Medivh's party because magic and
the feathers, and the crow and the sign of his shoulder.
And there was the reveal that it would be a raid instance with.
Yeah. It was actually, this was a lead that came from a Chinese forums, I think, and it said that the new expansion will be themed after a raid whose Chinese
characters,
it consisted of 3 Chinese characters in Chinese, and there were 4 or 5 of them.
One of them was Karazhan and the other one was Ulduar.
Yeah.
And I never understood why Karazhan so quickly became the favorite.
People said,
before,
we just had
because
whispers,
it's the year of the Kraken, and we kind of had the theme of the old gods, which is. And even though Yorkshire already released, that never stopped Molten Core. So I never really understood that. But then Toast's investigation came with the reveal that apparently Blizzard's favorite URL holders currently hold Karazhan.com.
Karazhan.com is registered,
So it seems likely.
So I think it's going to be like Karazhan's Magic Party or something like this. It's because Hearthstone is all about putting a twist on traditional Azeroth, right? We had the Grand Tournament, which is a goofy Argent tournament. I mean,
actually, the Old Gods party was the darkest Hearthstone we've ever got. I remember being at the post preview interview at the BlizzCon headquarters at that time. And people were asking, what inspired you to make a theme like this? And they said, we had some goofy kind of expansions with the Grand Tournament, which was kind of goofy, with making fun of things, and League of Explorers was all about happy things, and they really tried to make it dark with Whispers of the Old Gods.
Kind of did it. It was quite, especially in the artwork.
Exactly. And then I think they're switching back to some goofy stuff again now.
I think that they just want to go full 180 degrees turn and just go as goofy as possible, right? But one thing that's been interesting is that actually we're going to leave this for later. If it's Karazhan, Stefan, I know you're like the lore master of the show because nobody has played more WoW than you did. What should we expect from Karazhan, like iconic bosses, locations, stuff like this? So I'm actually interested because I haven't played Karazhan, I haven't raided Karazhan.
Karazhan is a raid of the olden times, which means a lot of bosses. Like the whole, Grand Tournament where literally every single boss of relevance is made into a card. Not gonna happen here because holy shit, it has like 14 of them. And again, we're looking at only.
They could be quarter bosses,
it's going to be
there's still going to be mini bosses, but they will not all be cards. That's what happened in the Grand Tournament. So as far as the most iconic goes, Like, basically, Karazhan had a lot of optional bosses back in the day, which means that those are likely the ones that will be skipped. Like, the iconic ones were the ones that you actually had to do, which, as far as I know, was Moros, and then the Curator. Then you had to do the chest event as well. And then I think you could then proceed to Prince Matthieist, which was basically the end. As far as other goes, I don't know if Midnight, like the whole Midnight fight with basically the rider was only iconic because he dropped a mount, and holy shit, everyone wants the mount.
Collectibles, right?
Yeah. And then there's, of course, there's actually 2 dragons present. There's Nightbane, which is an undead dragon that met Medivh in his fury, so that's how you end up as an undead for dragons. And then there's I don't know what his name is. It's a Nether dragon locked in the basement, and he's really strong.
It's probably a good guess that at least one of them will be a boss, right? Because dragons are awesome, and you know Kibler is playing this game now, so you gotta give him dragons.
Yeah. And the general theme of Karazhan is the haunted house. Oh yeah, you also need to do the Opera event, by the way. It's a haunted house with the various tropes. Like, we have the possessed, we have Moros, which is basically an undead waiter, and he basically says classic serving sayings while murdering you. You know, preparations must be made. And the Opera event, I don't know what they'll do about that, but it'll certainly be a boss. And the chess is going to be really interesting, especially because the overall character here is the Echo of Medivh, which, as you might know, is today a spell in Hearthstone. But
Echo of Medivh, yeah.
The Echo of Medivh is
for the Exodia Hearthstone deck.
Yeah, but the thing is that in the main lore of Hearthstone, we have not seen Medivh since Warcraft 3. Like, the only time we ever saw him in Warcraft was when we traveled back in time to meet him. He has not appeared since Warcraft 3, but obviously the expanded universe, I would like to say now, with with Hearthstone and Heroes of Storm, is not bound by such decisions. So we're probably Medivh will almost.
And the movie recently, you know.
Yeah.
He was in there as well.
And, you know, Medivh was just released, so they have recently had and must have had a voice actor call in, so they would have had time to also do eventual Hearthstone lines. So it makes sense. And
I like Medivh as a character. I'm not I by far not as much familiar with the lore as you are. Because
I don't think anybody on the show is.
Well, Karazhan is his tower, you know. That's why he got.
I've looked up things about it as soon as the rumors began. You know, I wanted to know what people were talking about and look for possible bosses or whatever. What could I expect or whatever? Is it cool? Would I like it? But yeah, I like Medivh as a character. He's very interesting in the lore. You know, being the last guardian and everything. I think as a hero in Hearthstone, you know, as the skin for Mage.
It was kind of shocking to see him, because when he was announced, it was like it felt like one of those characters they just never wanted to touch, because not even WoW. But then they also announced Illyria, which was like, what? We haven't seen her for a decade, and it's like, okay, sane, but hey. But yeah, so it'll probably be Medivh himself that narrates this one for sure.
Or, you know, being end boss or something? The spirit of Medivh or something? I don't know.
I think they'll stick to Prince Matthieist. I don't know how his name's spelled, but he's basically an Eredar Lord, so let's hope for some cool
Eredar Lord.
There must be caps then.
Like
all caps, like Jirax's, it has to be.
Yeah. You face not Metalja alone, but legions I command. That's his line.
So everybody would run Sacrificial Pact in their decks against.
That's the thing, guys. That's like, well, you don't even have to craft it because it's a basic.
No, heroic last boss. Just run one Sacrificial Pact. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's like there have been a lot of tweets, obviously, about this by Blizzard's own Twitter. But the most interesting ones were kind of like they made you get your tinfoil hats up, because the very first tweet they started the whole party team was Annoyatron as a picture, and saying Annoyatron's come standard, you know, with all the party tools you need or something like this. And then the latest one from last night said, we'll show them all, which is Matt Sanders' catchphrase, right? And
I'll show you.
Now, I don't know if... this is big speculation, guys. This is... I might sound stupid, I might sound naive, I might sound a bit too believing.
I mean, you were born like that, right? So that's...
Yeah, but do you actually think that they will make changes to the standard card pool, or these are just like stupid teases that make you way too excited? Like, I mean, it worked on me, right? Like, I am now, you know.
I mean, the Blizzard PR knows what they're doing when they're saying Annoyatron comes standard. Like, they know what they are suggesting. Like, it's not it's never a coincidence. But whether that's actually whether they're just fooling around with us or not, that's the question. But
I hope they don't include Annoyatron.
Like, I mean, reprints are not something they have rejected, and
they actually said that they are considering it, right?
Yeah, but not in the near future, right?
No,
they haven't said anything like that. They could do something like that.
They have went from we're not going to do it into we might very well do it in a pretty short time, actually.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, they can always. Obviously, we already with Whispers we had these twists of existing cards with Antique Healbot being corrupted, Healbot.
Yeah, but this is an adventure, so there's going to be a lot less room for such filler cards, and we already spent too much space on those filler cards. But I haven't made that article.
I agree.
Yet,
they shouldn't do like twists on cards again. They should come with.
I think this team is done. I think that the whole twisting is pretty over with Whispers.
Yeah. Maybe in like a few years again.
But it's
something.
If they do it, if they bring things into the standard card pool, like, you know, make a Annoyatron classic set or something like this, that'll be a pretty big move, and it would be quite unexpected for me, right?
It would be really surprising to me,
shocking, right?
Because Blizzard is extremely conservative when it comes to this.
Yes, first of all, right? It's
especially like, let alone card changes, right? They decided, okay, with standard coming in and with Whispers rotating,
we do it one time.
We do it one time, and we make 12 changes, I think it was in total.
Yeah,
and before that we saw the Warsong nerf. Before that we saw the Undertaker nerf, which had like 9 months in between.
All of these changes have been they have like huge wave of discontent before them, right?
Yeah,
we had
exactly.
months of complaining on Reddit, on Twitter.
But that's also one of my concerns, because the biggest time of staleness is not after a big adventure, a big expansion like this. It's after the small adventure where we basically get, you know, a very concentrated pool of good cards, but nevertheless a very small amount of cards, and that's when the staleness just grows, even if it successfully launches a new deck archetype like
Patron was
Reno or Patron.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my fear, because this is the last expansion before BlizzCon.
Most likely, yeah.
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 Very likely will be. But yeah, so do you actually think that revising the standard card pool is
not so
possible?
fast, I think.
No, I don't know, but I can't say for sure. Like, I never missed the beat to say that Blizzard needs to do more for their iteration. Like, they're still releasing too few cards. They're doing it too slowly, and
actually, I think now between Whispers and the upcoming expansion, they can wait. The meta's still not stale. I mean,
but
it's still evolving, right? I was talking with Tilman Rex Vayu. We were talking about it, I think, in the group chat even, that the meta is not stale.
Yeah.
People are complaining, but it's not.
It was at some point.
Yeah, but
it was like
for about a
month,
month. Yeah.
And then it started evolving again. We had Tempo Warrior, Dragon Warrior. Now we have mid-range Shaman more rising up. The Conceit Shaman is now very popular. N'Zoth Paladin.
But even then, there's still too many trends that are too consistent. Like, you know, that first of all, like, too many cards from too long ago is still relevant. Like the fact that, you know, Druid had half the arsenal nerfed because they used it too much, but Warrior still can have Fiery War Axe and Execute, and literally everything, every single of their deck uses them. Seems both inconsistent.
All Druids run Wild Growth and Innervate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kept Wild Growth and Innervate, but they lost, you know.
With arguably two of the most strong Hearthstone cards in the game.
Yeah, but they lost Ancient of Law and Keep of the Growth.
See, the way I view it, that they're two equally strong, but at the same time opposite, well, you know, evidence of, you know, standard, like the standard expansion happening and not happening. And one is that, you know, we haven't had any we haven't had much complaints about the metagame on social media. Like, nobody's whining against a certain deck or certain card. It's nowhere near close to Secret Paladin, Patron, Med Scientist, Undertaker that we had in the past, right? It's not at this level of like, come on, we need changes, right? We've almost completely forgot about the fact that, you know, Classic is unbalanced and stuff like this, that, you know, the next time the set rotates, it will be, you know, a whole new deal of fixing classes because some classes just miss stuff, right? So this is kind of like, yeah, probably they're not going to update standard because the metagame is fine now. But, as we said, they have a very, very easy way to introduce new cards into the game without introducing new cards into the game, right? Because, you know, just putting, you know, 50 new cards they've already designed into the metagame, like, by saying, like, you know, guys, this is Classic now.
And if you look at like, you know, a card like Mad Scientist, like, secrets for the deck, for the classes that used secrets, are not being used. Like, they really aren't.
Because, you know, Tempo Mages, they used to run, you know, double Mirror Entity plus, you know, like a bonus third secret or something. Gone now. Some Hunters are down to no traps even. And maybe just run
even though they still run Eaglehorn.
Yeah, they run Eaglehorn because
which also shows the power level of Fiery War Axe.
Yeah, but
it's 1 mana more expensive, and people still run it because
of course, because Fiery War Axe is broken as shit.
Some Hunters just run like one freezing trap. That's most of the Hunters. Like, there are iterations of mid-range without any...
And that's due to the higher influx of single high-cost minions. Like, that thing was useless in the past, and still is useless versus Sue.
Absolutely. And what else? Like, Freeze Mage has gotten significantly weaker, and it's only good in certain metagames when you can ban
Warrior, but the fact that such a deck is even still viable concerns me. Like, it's fucking 3 years old. Like, in a card game, the notion that a deck that with 3 years old cards are viable, yet alone relevant, you're supposed to just, like, that's the point when every other card developer would simply say, okay, your card's banned or rotated or something because we do not want to see you in this metagame anymore. New stuff. But bye.
I mean,
and the same to some extent with Miracle Rogue. Like, my biggest concern with Standard is that whenever it resets, we dial back to the 2014 meta, and that's not a particularly balanced one.
Yeah, because I mean,
not a particular
again, it all goes back to what tools each class has in Classic, right? Because if you look at Freeze Mage, 80% of it's Classic stuff. That Mage, well, now less so because they gave them Thorison and Torch and what else? What the fuck are they running now? Well, that's about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything else, the fireballs, the froze, like all the kill engine, all the draw engine, and all the freeze engine. That's classic. That's classic. That the whole freeze mage deck is rooted in the vanilla set of Hearthstone, so it's never going to rotate out because fireball is still good, frostball is still good, arcane intellect is still amazing. You can still Frost Nova Doomsayer on turn 5. Why the fuck not run Freeze Mage? Like, still good without Metza and this. It will still be good without Thorison, because you know what? You know why? Because it was still good before Thorison. But yeah, this is another topic, and Stefan, I know you wanted to bring up some cards, but I won't this show because we were running quite late, but you have my promise for the next show, because next show we're just going to be discussing cards and shit like this. We'll have the cards at this point. I know you...
Will we?
Well, I don't think so. But anyway, like, I also... If we're gonna talk about Priest, because it's another sign that, you know, the result of the Evergreen set is that too much is stuck in the status quo of 2014, where Priest sucked, and guess what? Today they suck even more, because... modern day,
all the other classes gain something, right?
Like modern day, not even that, but Priest is a reactive deck, but modern day high cost cards, aka old gods, are balanced around the assumption that you're not gonna be reacting to them. You kill them beforehand or pay the price for failing to do so.
Yeah,
like
waiting until
there's no
late
reacting to Ensoft. There's no you don't win against Cafoon by mind controlling him, because he already killed you. So the whole idea of being a reactive class just doesn't work, even against the decks you're supposed to be winning against that.
Yeah. Lettering up this season, I came across a few Priest players, and I beat them all. I was actually mortified that I would lose to one of them. I would be so ashamed.
You're gonna meme yourself, like, wow.
Yeah, it didn't happen. Fortunately enough. Yeah.
I'm so close to 500 wins with Priest, and every single one of these wins have cost me brain aneurysm.
So you'll hit Golden Priest in December or something?
Yeah, I mean, I heard that in WoW it's sick good because you still have all the light bombs and
Nuzlocke Priest.
It's pretty decent, but I want to play Standard, man. I tried OTK Priest.
Can you imagine Nuzlocke decks with Fight of the Shredder? Come on.
Oh yeah.
Sludge Belcher.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous.
But
anyways, it's there's no use speculating too much because we're just 2 days away from actually seeing what the expansion holds, and I'm sure we'll get the full reveal, because that's what they do with the expansions, right? Would they just
Adventures, they're usually upfront about the cards, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
And well, we have to remember that the last time they did an adventure expansion, they announced and released a week later.
Oh, please do it again. Please in my summer holidays, and not when uni's starting again.
Yeah,
please.
Well, this time I'm actually hoping for a slightly later release, because I want to try and pay with gold. I have about 3,000 saved up. Well, that should be enough, right? Well, no, if it's
3,000, it's 700 per wing.
Yeah, so I need
3.5k.
3,500. So yeah, it's a bit more questing to do.
I'm already saving money for the next card expansion.
I just want to buy the D&D 5 manual, so this is why I'm not paying for Hearthstone. I'm way too deep in my old high school obsessions of role playing, man. It's amazing, you know. It's been some time since I pretended to be a wizard and actually capable at something. Makes me feel alive and a sense of accomplishment. Don't judge me. This is what people
I won't judge you. Do. Women do that.
But yeah, thank you guys for the show. We're ended here because it's getting late.
We're just rounding it up now.
Yeah.
Before we get too much into Rada's sad life.
I mean, you can read all about it on Twitter, where I, just
true, yeah.
And you can ask Tom; he'll give you all my secrets away, because he has.
I'll give all the stories. Yes, we share everything.
He has no loyalty, man. Only Stefan backs me up. Like Chiv and Tom will basically sell me for a nickel if they got a chance. But
I think Stefan just hasn't had the chance yet. I know that.
Nobody offered him a nickel. Otherwise, he just might.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Stefan's now sitting there quietly saying, "Shit, they're on me." And
he's like, "Wait a minute! I didn't know I could sell him." Like, you know, internalizing contemplation.
I could blackmail him. Wow, I can make a lot of money. Yeah.
Well, not a lot of money, like a nickel, as this was actually.
Oh well, it's a lot of money for some people. Hey, Rado.
Yeah. I mean, I'm from Bulgaria. Nickel can buy me a car or something, probably.
Yeah.
Again, this was the show for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. For all of you who wrote in Twitch chat, all of you who watched live. Remember, the show will be recorded and uploaded on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Just look for GosuGamers on all these things, and you will find us, GosuGamers HS or just GosuGamers. Subscribe to every single place so you can get the show when we upload it. Sorry for missing actually the last episode. Technical issues. Again, OBS is my arch nemesis. Yes, I am being haunted by a program, and apparently it only hates me. Everybody else that working with OBS kind of, you know, works fine with it. Just, you know, screws my life though. Join us again next week, Tuesdays 9 p.m. European time, where we'll be talking about, well, Karazhan's Magic Medivh Party, or whatever the expansion will be called. Will be
and the new card, you know.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter. You can all of us write stuff for GGNet, and you can follow the site at GosuGamersHS on Twitter. You can follow Sumadin at Sumadin, Tom at Matthieist. If you can ever spell this, you can follow him. And if you do spell it correctly, I think he deserves a follow. And you can follow me at GG Nydra.
Matthieist.
I'm not pronouncing it. No, it sounds ridiculous. Just find it. I'm gonna call you Tom. Like, what's your real name? It's Tom, right? Like.
Well, I hope that's my real name. It's not on my passport. Well, I can't disclose everything.
It's your passport. Okay. You should just like rename your Twitter to Tom. That's way better.
Tom. Just Tom.
Yeah, just Tom. Like,
as soon as it is available, I will.
No, you should be like the Heroes of the Storm team that just called Bob for a long time before Dignitas picked them up, right? Bob ? Like Tom.
Yeah, it was but that wasn't it referring to the Bob Ross stream or something?
No. It was just like Bob ? Because Calder was complaining about all the weird names. Well, there should be a team name called Bob. Yeah, so you could be Bob, like, because Tom is too stupid, but you can be Bob.
Thanks.
Anyway, like you sell me, I embarrass you in public. That's how things. Oh, Raven, hello! You're just in time for. Seeing the
ending.
My crew embarrassing
nice
me.
Seeing you too, Raven.
Yeah. Anyways, this was the show. Until next week. Old gods. No, not all gods. Karazhan time, guys. Karazhan. Yeah. See you.
Party at Karazhan.
See you next week.
Bye.